There was another woman in the media, Ronni Bennett, who was a radio talk show producer in the 1960s. She went on to great fame. She was the producer of the Barbara Walters specials. She did big programs at CBS and NBC. In 1996, when the commercial internet was in its infancy, she became the first managing editor at CBS.com and later worked at various other websites. She says she didn't know it at the time, but it was at CBSNews.com in '96 that the seed of an idea came to her, and it was her blog, Time Goes By. At first, Time Goes By was just a place to put her research and her ideas. 4 years after its inception, Time Goes By has become a complex mix of insightful and balanced reporting on Social Security and Medicare. And so, and this is for you, Saul. Just a month ago, she blogged on the Medicare Advantage program saying, 2 years ago when I signed up for Medicare, I couldn't make sense of what Medicare Advantage plans are. I still receive dozens of mailings in the fall of each year urging me to give up my government Medicare in favor of these private plans, which is what Medicare Advantage is, privatized Medicare. But there is a big problem with Advantage plans. Medicare pays those private insurers an average of about 13% more than it would spend for the same beneficiaries in traditional Medicare. How right she is. And like Saul, she says it like it is. Her outstanding blogging on Social Security and Medicare has earned Ronni Bennett the National Committee's 2008 Media Excellence Award. Ronni, regret she could not be here because she was Maine and could not get down there, but she sent us a short video message.
It was a big surprise when I got the email from Kim Wright telling me about this award. I've never won anything that I didn't have to share with about 12 other people before, and I'm trying really hard not to turn this into a Sally Field moment. So I'm going to read most of it to be able to say exactly what I mean. It's particularly gratifying to get this for my blog writing about Medicare and Social Security. Not the sexiest topics in town, but they should be. As I'm sure everyone in this room knows, Social Security is the most successful social program in the history of the United States. It keeps 40% of elders out of poverty and thousands from needing to be supported by their children. Yet beneficiaries are often accused of being greedy geezers, particularly by young adults who, according to their blogs and comments on my blog, resent that Social Security deduction from their salaries. Also, young people, according to their blogs and their comments, don't believe Social Security will still be here when they're old enough for it. That's mostly due to President Bush's scare tactics during his privatization campaign a few years ago. And aren't we glad it failed? Imagine if private accounts were in effect now. I don't know about you, but what I laughingly refer to as my investments get less funny every week. And I'm enormously grateful now that my Social Security account is not sitting on Wall Street. When I first started writing about the program, I looked into its history. Knowing the outcome over 70-plus years later, it was thrilling to read what President Roosevelt said when he signed the new Social Security legislation in 1935. We can never insure 100% of the population against 100% of the hazards and vicissitudes of life, he said. But we have tried to frame a law which will give some measure of protection to the average citizen and to his family against a poverty-ridden old age. Even I'm not old enough to have a personal memory of that occasion in 1935, but except for the civil rights legislation in the 1960s, I can't think of anything that has come out of Congress in my lifetime that has done so much good for so many. Young people need to know the value and importance of Social Security to their parents now and for themselves in the future. And it's up to us to educate them, and even some old people, to overturn their belief in President Bush's false spin that Social Security is broken. It needs tweaking to accommodate the aging of the population, but there are many good ideas out there about how to do it without burdening anyone too much. Medicare is a tougher and more complicated issue, but the time is now, with universal coverage gaining popularity and the potential for a more receptive Congress next year. It's not a bad model as a basis for a single-payer system, and I urge you to keep investigating and writing about it. I couldn't do that nearly as intelligently without the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. Their website and their blog, Entitled to Know, are smart and packed with good information. And I'm terribly proud to receive this award from people who know so much more about these issues than I do. It is an honor, and I thank you very much.